This is a significant day for the diocese, and I think also for this part of the world. Just talking with Kate beforehand, who is very keen as local member for the development of high schools, let us say, in this area. I'm very pleased to see this one. And we too, very conscious that people from Nelson Bay, the Peninsula, Raymond Terrace, Williamtown, all around, in our school system, have needed to travel into town for senior education. And so very pleased at this point to be able to rectify that with a college here. Now, my job is to announce this morning the name of the new college, and the presence of Sister Mary beside me may have roused your suspicions. We are, and let me say, the implementation committee recently referred to with the people from education and the local representatives on it have run this process of coming up with a name among many other plans for this place. We have decided, or they have recommended to me, and I have accepted, that it would be a good thing to name this college after a young woman from Ireland who was born about the time Captain Phillip was setting up in Sydney. And in the early 19th century, as a lay woman, a young woman, began taking care of and catechizing the children of the family with whom, as an orphan, she was lodged. And that developed after the people she had lived with had died. She used an inheritance then to establish a refuge, if you like, for young women and for orphans. She never intended to found a religious congregation. No. It was a big mistake. But that sort of thing happened in the 19th century. You developed a good work and gathered people around you, and then the bishops began to get suspicious. Eh?
That's right.
And encourage you to become
as bishops do.
And so encouraged her to formalise this into a religious congregation, which has gone on and spread, first of all through that Irish-speaking world, but very widely into our own time, running schools and other works of mercy and compassion. So you will have gathered by now that we are building on the tradition of the Sisters of Mercy in their educational work in this area as well, when we bestow on this newest Catholic college in our diocese the name of Catherine McAuley Catholic College. I'm looking at you, Derek.
I think it's my turn. Firstly, I'd like to thank Bishop Bill for accepting this name that's been recommended to him by the Project Implementation Committee, and acknowledge again the committee and all the work that it's done in the planning for the college and choosing a name as part of that process. They would have considered a number of names, but I think it's very important, as the Bishop has said, to recognise the great contribution that Sisters of Mercy have made particularly to this part of the diocese. I call it the Ring of Mercy, because we are surrounded by schools that were founded by the Sisters of Mercy. So from Nelson Bay through to Raymond Terrace, through to Taro, through to East Maitland, and to Morpeth, and to our new school in Chisholm, which again we've dedicated to the charism of the Sisters of Mercy. I grew up in Raymond Terrace, and I left there about 44 years ago to begin my teaching career in Burke, so I went a long way away, and when I left, Medowie was still a village. It had a lot of market gardens around it. It had been settled mainly after the Second World War, by a lot of refugee families from Europe. They developed market gardens and the like. That's my memory of Medowie. I never thought I'd be standing here at the time of the announcement of a secondary school, let alone a Catholic secondary school in this particular area. So we're absolutely delighted with that. As the Bishop said, Catherine McAuley was more than looking after education. The history of the Sisters of Mercy, particularly in healthcare, for example. I, along with a number of my colleagues, was born in the Mater Hospital, Waratah, which we always referred to as the Mater. We leave off that second part of its name, Mater Misericordiae, Mother of Mercy. That's what it was called, and that was part of the charism of the Sisters of Mercy, and so we're very much indebted to them, and this is a wonderful tribute, I believe, to the Sisters of Mercy. It's also a wonderful way of recognising the important role that women have played in the Catholic Church. The majority of our schools in our diocese are named after male saints, so I think this is a very significant step that one of our newer schools will be named after one of the pioneering women of education, not only in Australia but across the world. One of the aspects of this school, we've been in the planning process, really struck home this morning as I was driving. The Bishop and I had been up at the REC retreat up in McAuley. So driving down, I came up Tomago Road. I think it's the first time I've driven up Tomago Road in about 30 years. And as I'm driving along, recognising some parts, what used to be the Cordell's factory where my dad worked, now the big aluminium smelter past that. And then as I came further along, there was this huge development, and I couldn't work out what it was until I saw the name, and West Track, and I thought, well, I knew there was West Track was out here somewhere. I had no idea how big it is. And if you're driving back to Newcastle, take Tomago Road and have a look at it. Because one of the things about the placement of this school is that we'll be surrounded by a lot of industries which focus on some of the subjects that we teach, the STEM subjects, the science, technology, engineering and mathematics components. And so it's going to be supported by all the industrial development that's going to take place with the RAAF base and things like West Track, etc., that are already here. So it's an exciting time to have a secondary school being established. But the STEM is just part of it. The other aspects of the school are what are the traditional parts of a Catholic school, the teaching of religion, the celebration of our religion, and the teaching of all the other academic and vocational subjects that come with it. So it is a very exciting time. These Year 7s, as Gerard's indicated, in 2020, we'll kick that off, and I think it's going to be a wonderful thing for our parents and for these young people. I want to acknowledge particularly the parents that have been involved in this process. And I have to say that when we looked at doing a study of secondary education, and we were talking about the Maitland area in particular, Bishop Bill, as he's occasionally known to do, would challenge us. And he said, what about Nelson Bay? And what about Cessna? Why aren't we doing something out there? And so part of our focus was to look at this particular area. And I attended a meeting at St Michael's at Nelson Bay as we were having meetings all around the diocese. And of all the parent meetings, it was the largest attendance. And they were absolutely passionate about having a secondary school closer to the bay. And similarly with Raymond Terrace and other areas around here. So this is something that will be achieved very soon and something which is very exciting for this area. So again, thank you, Bishop, for taking the name and accepting the name, and to Sister Mary, a wonderful tribute to the Sisters of Mercy. We thank you for all that they have done over the years. Now, part of our tradition, Bishop, is that part of the long tradition in Catholic schools or in the Catholic Church was whenever a new church is being built, whenever a new school is being built, that the laying of the foundation stone, that the bishop was presented with a trowel. And the early days, they were very ornate, but they don't make ornate trowels anymore. I don't know why. So we just get a normal brickish trowel and smarten it up a bit. But we present it to the Most Reverend William Wright, Bishop of Maitland-Newcastle, on the occasion of the unveiling of the foundation stone and naming of Catherine McAuley, Catholic College, Medowie, Friday the 28th of October 2016. one in 2 years. That's pretty good.
Yes, as part of my working life, I was on the staff of St Patrick's College, Manly. Grand old place put up in 1885 by Cardinal Moore, and in glass display cases and things in corridors and around the place there was a very considerable collection of his trowels. Formed in me a burning ambition to have my own collection. I like building schools too, but all about the trowel, really. So thank you very much, Ray, and congratulations again to all concerned. We step up and we, right, well, there you go, and we'll come this way. There we are.